What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be installing the JL Designs taillight with integrated turn signals on my Aprilia RSV4. The great news is that the JL Designs taillight is not only compatible with the 2021 and above RSV4 and Tuono V4, but it's also compatible with the RS660 and Tuono 660. But for this install, I'm going to be focusing on the RSV4. The first step is to use your key to remove the seat cowl and remove it. Now with a 4mm, I'm going to be removing the 4mm screw in here for the seat. One here and one here. I'm going to be removing the rear fender, the OEM fender, but you do not need to remove the rear fender just to install the light. Now again with the 4mm hex, I'm going to be removing this 4mm bolt here. And for this one, it also has a washer. Make sure you don't lose it over here. And this will just pop off like this, and it's out. Now you can pull off the starter relay. Just wiggle it off and move it to the side so we can get to the connector that comes from the OEM fender that controls the turn signals, and we're going to disconnect this. There's a tab over here. Just going to push it and pull it off. There you go. Now you're gonna wiggle out the connector from the taillight. There's also a notch over here that you're going to lift and pull it out just like that. And now everything is disconnected, and we created space to get to the 10mm, two 10mm nuts that are in there that hold the OEM fender. To give you a more clear view, there's a 10mm nut over there and one over there. And these two go underneath the tail, 1 and 2. And then there's a third one in there that does not require a nut above it, and they're all T30 Torx. To remove these, you will need an extension with a 10mm socket, a ratchet, and another ratchet with a T30 underneath that will go underneath the tail. And with this, it will go above it. So for this, I would have to go through here into the 10mm, and underneath, I would aim for the T30 and unscrew it. There you go. Repeat the same process on the other side. Okay, now it's loose enough where you can loosen it with your hand over here while you're holding it underneath. Now, you don't really need this. I just do it to make my life easier and to make sure I don't drop the nut in there. Basically what I do is I add the magnet there and I twist it underneath while the nut is held in place. And then when it's loose, I just get to hold it from here. There you go. That way I ensure I don't drop it. Same process for this side. I'm turning it with my hand underneath because it's loose enough to the point where I can turn it by hand. And when it's loose, I pull it and there you go. It is off. And we have one more T30 that we'll have to unscrew underneath. Okay, now with the extension of the T30, I'm going to reach underneath and unscrew it. And make sure you hold the fender at the same time, because as you unscrew it, this is going to go loose. There we go. So hold it from here, from one side, and then from above, you're gonna fist the connector out over here, right there, and pull it down. There you go, and this is out. Now for us to get to the light, we actually have to remove the side fairing here. But to remove the side fairing, we technically need to remove the tank because the fairing goes under the tank. But I have a solution to this. we'll be able to make space here to get to the screws under the light without removing the tank and actually saving time. So to start with that, we're going to have to remove 1, 2, and 3 underneath bolts. They're all 4mm to expose the panel underneath to get to the screw behind this fairing. Okay, first bolt is right here, 4mm. Remove this. Second one is right here. And then the third one is right here. There you go. So with this now, you can push this back and we're exposing this screw over here. That's also a 4mm in order for us to be able to loosen the side fairing to get to the light. This is also a 4mm. There you go. There's one more up here, also 4mm. There you go. These are not the same. This also has a sleeve over here, so keep that for reference. And we have one more over here, also 4mm. This also has a sleeve for reference. And we have one more here, 4mm. And this does not have a sleeve. There you go. Okay, now that all the screws are removed, this now is loose here, but it's still not enough space for us to go underneath. The reason is, over here, there are 2 notches up and down that you have to be very cautious when you pull out from here so you don't break them. So you pull down like this and out. That's one. And for the second one, you pull down and out. There you go. So you see them right here, one here and one up here. And they both go one in here and one up here. Be very careful with these because they're plastic. See how easy I can bend it? And they can break easily. So be very cautious when you remove this. So now with this, we're exposing this screw over here without having to remove the entire fairing, because for us to remove this, there's another screw under here which is under the tank. No need to do it. This is all that you will need to remove. And now repeat the process on the other side as it is identical. Now that both sides of the fairings are loose, now the entire taillight is exposed. And now we can start removing the 3 screws that hold the taillight on. That's a 3mm up here, one over here, and one from this side. So we're gonna start from the side screw over here. It's a 3mm hex. There you go, this is out. And at the same time, make sure you remove this washer right here so you don't drop it. And repeat the process on the other side. This screw is out, and also make sure you remove the washer. There you go. Last but not least, remove this 3mm hex. There you go. And the washer. Okay, there's also a zip tie over here that holds the cable from the tail light. There you go. We have to release this in order to remove the light. And now, with a little bit of wiggling, left and right from here and from here, the tail light is out. Now, how this tail light works, there are 2 rubber grommets over here that we'll have to remove and transfer to the new tail light. This is where these 3mm hex screws go through with the washers, left and right. Okay, now we have the 2 tail lights side by side. I mean, look at this. This looks gorgeous. This is amazing. I can't wait to see how it's going to look when it's on. So basically, we're gonna have to transfer the 2 rubber grommets here. We'll also have to transfer 1, 2, 3 inserts over here for the screws to go through. So these are a little bit tight in there, so you might have to wiggle them out. 1, 2, and 3, and replace them on the new taillight. There you go, 1, 2, and 3. And now we have to transfer the rubber grommets. Okay, now for the rubber grommets, you can push it from here first, as much as you can, so you create this out there and pull it out. That's one. Keep it on the side. So basically, again, you have to push it in through there. Grab it from the other side. There you go. And just transfer the rubber grommet through here. This is a little tricky, but nothing impossible to accomplish. Just put it from this side. There you go. One is inside. And repeat the other one over here. Perfect. That was very easy. And the light is ready to be installed. Now you can bring the tail light underneath here, hold the cables, pass them through here, under here, and align it. Now for here, you can see the rubber grommets. You have to squeeze them in left and right, like that over there. Make sure you push it in. There, left and right. 1, 2, and then the cables will have to go in between here, so we can fold them above it. So then when the frame closes, once you align the taillight, you're going to get these inserts and add them here where the rubber grommet is, in there. And then you're going to start adding the screws. Now when you add the screw, you might have to push the light in to align it to the hole. There you go. Always start by hand. Make sure the threads are in. Hand tight it. And then move to the other side. Repeat the same. Add the washer and the rubber grommet, and you'll have to push it a little bit to the front. Take the 3mm. Fit in. Again, push it in so you can align it, and hand tight. There you go. Now before you tighten these down, we're going to add the third one over here. Add the washer there and the screw from above. There you go. Now these are good to be tightened with a ratchet. Before you tighten these with a ratchet, make sure that you are aligned over here at the fairing with these lines. Make sure you don't have no gaps. Once you confirm that, then you can tighten these. Now with the 3mm, you can tighten this. There you go. Just tight enough over there. Don't need to go too tight. Once it stops, 1/8 of a turn, and you're good to go. There you go. 1/8 of a turn, and it's good to go. Now that the light is in place, we're gonna realign the fairing here with these notches in there. Gonna push them in a little bit. One first here, and then the second one over there. Make sure you go slow with this. There you go. And that's buckled in. And then we can go on top. There you go, and make sure we align everything here. This aligns with the light over here. Everything aligns, this aligns, and this aligns. And it's good to be tightened down. Next step will be to connect the light connector over here. That's in. And the next step will be to connect the turn signals. Now, to connect the turn signals, JL Designs created a harness that will go in your OEM connector over here. And there are 4 terminals here that you would color match them and connect them. Now, the reason there are 4 and not only 2, this is a surprise, which I will leave at the end of the video. But for now, we're going to color match these and connect this to activate the turn signals. Okay, connect the terminal here, go in. All right, and this is good to go. And now we can connect this right here. And that's in. Now that everything is in place, we're going to tuck everything in here. Tuck the tail light, and tuck the connector as much as you can around here. Make sure they go all under the fairing. Push them in, and then you can insert the starter relay. Once the starter relay is in, now you can finish up with these 2 screws here and insert them where they attach at the tail light. Hand tight first. There we go, tight enough. And one more over here. Tight over there. And all the inner screws, 1, 2, 3 for the tail light is done. And then we can place the cover above it. There we go. And now the screw over here. Okay, don't forget to include the washer. Start hand tight. All right, done. And you can repeat the opposite process to tighten down all the fairings and add the seat and the rear cowl. Okay, now that everything is installed, let's see how it looks like without the tail light being on. See, it has this reflective light inside, which is really nice. Okay, now let's turn it on. I love these lines that it creates. Yeah, this looks really good. And let's activate the brake. Very nice. And let's activate the turn signals. Let's do the left. And let's do the right. Now, I said I have a surprise that I would leave for the end, and that is regarding the harness and the 2 extra connectors that the harness has. Now, the reason for those 2 extra connectors is because JL Designs is coming out with a new design to eliminate the fender and create a license plate bracket, which will also have a light for the license plate. And the light will have to be connected on those 2 connectors. So I don't have a time frame for when it's coming out, but it's coming out very, very soon. And you will be able to purchase the light as a combination with the license plate bracket together. Now, last but not least, if you'd like to purchase this light at a discounted price, all you need to do is go on JL Design's website and under checkout, add coupon code ALPHAVITAGA, and that will give you a 10% discount. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, make sure you add them in the comment section. Also, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.